interesting.
So, as you can see, with on the side of RushB, Gorilla already going in with that clutch pick. We did not see clutch used a huge amount on the Thursday qualifiers. However, he does seem particularly useful on not only duel, as we saw with Agent, who was putting in work earlier, but in sacrifice, that shield wall protecting the entire team. But on the flip side, as you can see, we have access to two big bodies on the opposing team, on Aces, where they've got that Sorlag and I believe Scale Bearer all at once. That's going to be very difficult to deal with. So Zron has access to the Soul already. He's going to drop it off onto Obelisk A. Now, Obelisk A on Lockbox seems to be quite a favorite point for teams to hold. If they can get access to it, this is the one they tend to pick.
Definitely seems that way, but Clutch, definitely seeing a lot more of him as the days go on. Definitely seeing a lot more dangerous. This is that rail, though. He's getting sieged right now by Aces. He managed to steal the Soul. At the same time, we're just trading frags for frags, and that's one thing to get in mind. In this game mode, the frags are flying. There are deaths left, right, and center. It's all about how you recover as a team.
Yep, you will die a lot. It's about basically giving up that fact and doing everything you can to make sure that while you are alive, you are maximizing your worth. Each life goes down. But as you can see right now, they've dropped off the souls to Obelisk A. That's going to continue to count down. But it's just a very chaotic match. But as you can see, they've got Sorlag and Clutch all on one team. That's going to be a lot of chunk to try and take down. And Memphis going in, trying to really seize this Obelisk and finally take the soul for the first time. Clutch on the defense gets taken out as well. They have the soul. The rocket jump. Memphis manages to make the jump. Can he get away? Does manage to establish the space. Gets roughly halfway, but Latrobe does manage to take him out. And they're going to try and safely deliver it back. Now, very important to actually bear in mind is that he didn't drop it off. You need to put the soul back in. There we go. They've got it. I think, unfortunately, actually, dropping it off and not putting it back in there.
Oh, Tremby goes down. Now, this is a really good round for Aces, though, because even though they're fighting constantly for this Obelisk, even though they're constantly contesting, it is still in the Obelisk itself. So you can see percentages raising almost 50% already. So Aces have a commanding lead as it is.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they've got the protection. That's a big thing.
This is the next element of the tail and sacrifice. The power-up is such a game changer. It can be either quad damage or protection. And as you can see, Zron, one of the dangerous duelers of the day, picking that Scale Bearer, has access to protection. He's going to take heavily reduced damage, and it does not affect his damage output at all.
Oh, when he goes down. Scale Bearer doing a lot of damage with that lightning gun. Luminous going down.
You truly do become just a one-man army once you get that protection. As you can see already, they've dropped the soul off at Obelisk A. It's already at 70% in 2.5 minutes, and that is only ever going to count up. It looks like RushB having a much harder time actually taking this Obelisk and getting the soul back.
Does seem that way, and also Ace is just doing an amazing job defending it. You can usually see the sort of taking this high ground.
Clutch going in. Unfortunately, actually, although Clutch did sit there with his shield wall, almost completely left to his own devices. The rest of his team were not there to follow up, and because of it, the soul goes back down, and it does get safely delivered back onto Obelisk A. Oh. Again,
this is looking like a pretty one-sided round so far. I mean, just look at this. Ace is controlling this point masterfully.
Minus the suicide, of course. Now Gorilla's trying to run through, activates the shield wall. Kind of surrounded by enemies, though, just acting as a distraction while the rest of his team try and take that soul. They do manage to get a hold of it, but it's not enough health to defend. And once again, they're going to safely deliver this soul. 3%, 2% left. At this rate, I'm definitely willing to call this a one round, and it is. Aces looking very strong together.
So RushB at the moment have a very large champion-heavy composition. They've got Clutch, Sorlag, Scale Bearer, and Nyx. Now, whilst that is an amazing composition for just straight up defending, once you've held on to the soul, it seems that when you don't have that sort of, it seems Anarchy is one of the most crucial champions you can get in this mode. But when you don't have that sort of almost like aggressive. That aggressive speed to just go in, get the soul, and just run away. It seems quite hard to actually seize the soul away from a team if you don't have those kind of champions. We've definitely seen Anarchy make a massive difference. Zron manages to get the soul, but he's completely surrounded by enemies. RushB, well, incidentally, are looking to rush B and take Obelisk B as their objective. Are they going to get there in time? That's the question. Dropping it down if they can get there. They should be able to get there in time. They're going to try and stop them. Oh, he gets in the way! Actually, body blocks, and all three Aces, or three of their teammates, are here to stop them. Actually, are they choosing to take B this time? I think so, yeah. They're just going to cut their losses and go for B while they're here, and Luminous is there with the rail, though, to stop him. But at the same time, it's still being captured. They managed to take it off. Bear in mind that they haven't. One thing recent that was changed about Sacrifice, you now have to manually deliver the soul to your Obelisk. You used to be able to actually throw the soul, cover a great distance, and bring it to Obelisk that way. Now you have to actually hold it and take it back. So many frags going on there. Soul has been stolen. Get it back to A. They're trying to. Sev currently has it. Not the fastest champion in the world. Throwing it down. Oh, unfortunately just passing it over to his enemy, who does fortunately die before he picks it up. Luminous. Now he is by far the fastest member on the team. Trying to drop off at A, but we can see one of Aces is there.
You definitely need to make sure that your fastest champion is the one that's holding the soul and delivering it to the objective, because really it just makes the most sense. Especially when there's someone like an Anarchy who can so freely navigate the map. He pretty much is the absolute best soul runner in the game for that.
And again, Ranger, we're seeing Ranger do quite a lot with it so far. Solag even to a degree. Just obviously you have to try and get it out safely, and sometimes you just need the health to do so.
Now once again the power-up's going to spawn in due time. It's either going to be quad damage or protection, either of which very, very game-changing if they can get access to them. RushB now, although they're holding the point, they're looking to try and sort of secure that power-up. There's going to be a fight in the middle of the map. Power-up's going to be quad damage. Luminous with a super shotgun, railgun, and rocket launcher in hand. That's going to be a lot of tools to try and take it. But look at how fast Latromi just delivered that soul. Oh my days.
But that's the thing though, they managed to get this quad damage, but at the cost of losing the soul completely. So Aces are currently in a position that they're starting to even things up. This quad damage can be all game changing if he can get it. Yes, he does. Tag the rail. Using the jump pad, Anarchy. Latromi goes down.
Excellent
now, here
job.
they are here in force, trying to take the soul away.
Clutches that necessary distraction with the shield org, trying to maximize the quad damage. Unfortunately misses the final rail, so 2 members will survive. Having them gone would be really useful, but Memphis using that rocket jump boost, and look at the speed of which these players can deliver that soul back to the obelisk.
Really good path in there though, obviously using that passive of Solag, that speed she gets when she bunny hops, putting it to great use and getting that soul back to its home turf. They are starting to try and contest it. Gets the acid, the area denial, something that makes Solag very powerful on this map, particularly, especially in this mode. Oh, but no frags coming out just yet. They are managing to slay but surely defend. 13
up
health
behind.
left.
Sneak attack with the railgun.
Oh, and he's going down, super shotgun.
I think RushB are doing a really good job of actually defending it. As you can see though, it's because it's Obelisk A. I truly think from what we saw on Thursday was that teams seem to have a much easier time defending Obelisk A compared to B. That was an unfortunate miss, hitting the grate there. Trying to shoot through.
Yeah, constantly hitting these bars, doesn't quite have the clear line of sight.
That's going to get funneled down, but once again, Anarchy just delivering that obelisk in such a fast pace. Before he gets fragged, trying to get the denial down at the acid, doesn't quite work out. Memphis, though, manages to get access to the soul. Once again, running back, but looking to be headed off by not 1, but 2 members of Aces. And he lands in the acid puddle, but because it's Solag, no damage.
Oh, bringing a lot of damage down those. Ron has it. Scaleberry, not the fastest guy to deliver it, but definitely can get that movement if he's right with these jumps.
Well, bear in mind, obviously, you know,
Scalebearer actually on the way.
Yeah, for this reason, you see Scalebearer sort of drop the soul and then use the charge to deliver it faster. Quad damage, once again, though, does go into the hands of RushB. Now, they used quad damage to take it last time. Are they going to do it again? Or are they going to get completely swarmed? Cannot afford to take a single bit of damage, but the 2 kills come out. Wow, that was almost losing quad, and that would have been very pivotal for RushB.
Doesn't really have the health to go for a fight, but that insta-kill quad damage rail. Accurate should be fine. He's going to tag that one. Yes, he does. Oh, but Latromi's going to hit a wayward laser. But Sev is able to salvage this. Going in for the quad damage charge. That's an insta-kill versus basically anyone in the game but Zron. Answering back. Now he gets his own takedown with the bull charge. Here we go. He's dropped it off once again. Now that lead that did belong so heavily to RushB now going into the hands of Aces. If they can hold this. Going for the gauntlet to try and penetrate the shield, but it's not enough. Clutch being the acid comes down from the top 2. Gorilla is going to fall, and Aces, even though they were down on this, they've now pulled into the lead, defending this B point. So Obelisk is in their favor.
They're going to be 1 champion down while Clutch respawns. Make that 2. As you can see right now, RushB managed to steal it away, trying to bring it back. I mean, it's really smart that players always use their fastest champion to deliver that soul.
Well, case in point there, right? Even Anarchy tried to chase her down, but just, I mean, had the speed to do so, but took her through a corridor, so those super nail gun shots doing so much damage if you can get a couple of them. Yeah, Latromi getting shot a lot, but Zron is there to save his boy, keeps him alive.
Speaking of which, Zron going in with the bull charge, doesn't manage to connect. Gorilla takes him down, gets a double kill on Latromi as well, and now again, RushB have access to the soul and are looking to bring it back. They have it in point A once again. That lead is going to steadily increase. Now the twist in the tail, that power-up. It's about to spawn, 10 seconds in fact. Who's going to take it?
Now, first time we saw RushB get this, and it was a game changer. They were able to get the soul off of it, but then, unfortunately, they just lost a bunch of percentage and didn't really get much off it themselves. It's a Silence gets it this time, and it's a quad damage.
He manages to survive now, not quite. Gorilla gets that pivotal rail, but Zron now has the quad in hand. Not a lot of health, very smart.
Kills himself, dropping off the quad damage to his teammate who has full health next to him. He's going to land that rail. Oh, and another one back-to-back. Latromi isn't wasting this.
That was a fantastic decision. He's now going to run in there and take the soul. He's got the default shotgun, which is going to maximize the amount of damage he's going to do anyway. The regular shotgun will still shred health, especially if it's a chunky champion, but the acid breath does an amazing job of draining the health down. Zron back in to fight for the soul. He's going to get the last remaining sections of the quad damage, and now he's got the soul as well. Can he safely deliver it? He's being headed off by the entirety of RushB. They only need 6% to win. If they can get the soul back right now, they might be able to do it, but the charge coming out, Latromi and Zron together, looking to drop it off towards B.
There we go, safely drops it off, but they need to be careful if RushB hold it off at this point. They might not be able to get it back, and Gorilla with a double kill with the rail.
That killer Gorilla going in for the gauntlet.
He's gonna grab this. Throws over to his teammate who's a lot faster than he is.
All 4 members of RushB working as a unit, trying to deliver this back to the obelisk with only 6% left to get it to work. They're going to go through the teleporter. No one is here to head them off. Now, they might be able to safely deliver it. If they stick together, I do believe Clutch should have his shield all ready for this next fight. They delivered it. Can they do it?
They do only need, well, how much now? 2%. And they're all here to defend. This should be a guaranteed round if they keep this up.
That was fantastic coordination at the very end. Fantastic. And it's actually seemingly looks like we've lost a player. I'm assuming we're going to have to do something about this while we wait for Claws to reconnect. But we'll see what happens. We'll update you guys as it goes on.
All right, no worries. Well, definitely 1 round apiece for now, which is definitely... Well, I'm not quite sure we can have to reconnect or not, but regardless, it's going to be 1 apiece. We just have to run with whatever's happening.
Well, I believe actually the rule might be if a player disconnects and after a certain amount of time, if they're not able to join the session, because the match is already in session, there might actually be nothing they can do about it.
That is unfortunate there. The ruling means we have to continue 3v4, so their work is going to be cut out for them, which is very unfortunate, but I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's going to be very difficult.
Either way, that Latromi now, if they can make this 3v4 win, it will be superb. Bear in mind, actually, in this situation, even though it's 3v4 on the side of Aces, I mean, just pay attention to this, right? They're actually holding this off. They've got 10% already, and they're looking to keep it going.
Although Solag was able to steal the soul, but can't get away. Drops it back down to his teammate. Going to put it down safely. And already, though, less than a minute into this, approaching a 20% lead already, despite the 3v4. This is quite impressive.
The important thing here is that Aces were able to get the obelisk they really want. Now, bear in mind, they're all going to completely surround these guys going in for the bull rush. Can he get it? Manages to not quite finish any of them off because they are just too tanky. And now Gorilla has access to the soul, obviously using that genuine just speed that Clutch has and trying to deliver it back.
Oh, but Zron is there waiting for him. They're going to try and pinch them in.
They've done it. Now, Zron looking to really bring this one back. He's getting headed off, though. Trying to meet him in the middle.
Pushing coming through. Can he win this? Yes, he has his teammates here to protect him. And there we go. Yeah, another capture for them safely.
For a 3 versus 4, these guys are doing a good job of holding that soul. Power-up's going to spawn in 20 seconds, but wow!
Walked straight into a rocket. That was unfortunate.
That was a really nice rocket. Now, no doubt they're going to get all the necessary frags. They're going to take the soul back now. You wonder, are they going to sort of almost split up and try and detour to get this power up?
Good point, it is up in a mere 5 seconds. Oh, dropping the soul down, is going to die. Latromi bags it again, trying to take it back. Only 4 health though, definitely not going to be able to survive that one.
Bear in mind, while the soul's kind of like, you know, sort of being dropped generally, no points will go down, so... Okay, so we have just been re-informed of some more development. The ruling is done by round. So it's 3v4 for the duration of the round for the disconnect. But on the flip side, because he disconnected in the previous round, they will now restart, get Claws back into the lobby, and they'll resume 4 versus 4 on the final round, which makes sense. So they're going to get Claws back in. I mean, to be fair, they were actually winning 3 versus 4. So now when they get their boy back, I'd be a little bit worried.
It was looking good for them, for sure, and hopefully they can bring it back. But, you know, this is the right thing. You know, this is the right call to make, though, for sure.
Sorry about the confusion, guys. Getting the lobby back up. So obviously we're going to get this match back up and running. So currently it is 1-1 in terms of score. Bear in mind, sacrifice is
in terms of rounds. It's 1-1 on the first map. But like you said, they were winning 3v4 at the end. So if they get their 4th guy back, that'll be better. And obviously we want this to be, you know, a fair representation of all the players too. So we definitely want this to be as even as possible. And 4v4 obviously is They're cool. So, you know, we'll have to wait a little while, get them all back in the lobby. Might be a few minutes delay, but, you know, we'll try and keep it as short as we can. So thanks for sticking around.
Worth it for a GG. It's worth it for a good game. But either way right now, so what we saw there on Lockbox was, again, the fact that Obelisk A is a very dangerous obelisk to hold. On the flip side, when the 3v4 was taking place in the round that has just been ended, Aces still looked really comfortable. You know, I think it's just their ability to just get frags. And bear in mind, they didn't have Claws, and Claws is one of their really dangerous players because, again, Claws qualified for the EU regionals for duel. So Zron and Claws on the same team. That's two world-class duelers on one team playing together. So that's automatically, I think, a really dangerous combination to have, especially in something like Sacrifice.
So very interesting team choices coming out from the side of RushB with Clutch, Sorlag, Nyx, and Scalebearer. So a big, heavy character-focused team composition. Now, normally, some of the ones we saw before was like a lot of squishies, a lot of you know, faster characters just so they can run the soul between the points, or, you know, getting it first, or just going for straight up kills. But this is a very defensive heavy composition, but at the same time, you know, Scalebearer can run all over the place. He can run the soul quite effectively. Clutch can do a similar thing, especially if he's got his barrier up. Sorlag, area denial by just spitting acid all over the point can be really good. And you can't really just go wrong with just having a Nyx in there, because that seems to be quite effective. And again, there seems to be a heavy emphasis put on giving Nyx the power up specifically. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think Nyx with the power up is really dangerous because if you give Nyx something like protection, she's already quite hard to frag anyway. So, you know, even though she's squishy, she has a low health count, at the end of the day, if she's near death, she can pop that invisibility, which makes her invincible and immune to damage as well, and she gets out of that danger. So even though technically she's easy to do damage to, she's not easy to kill, because at the last minute she will make herself invincible and get out of that fight. Now, you're taking something like Protection, which is an already dangerous, hard-to-kill champion, and now you've given them heavily reduced damage, and she's really fast, which means that she can chase you, she can get in there, she can do damage, she can run the soul towards Obelisk, and then she's got that. It almost like the same reason Anarchy, when Anarchy has it as well. Anarchy with protection is, unless all 4 members of a team are focusing everything they've got on Anarchy, he's pretty much just going to walk into a base, take the soul away from the Obelisk, and then just run straight back out. He's not even going to bother about the fight.
We've already seen the speed in which he can get from one Obelisk to the other.
It's
right?
like 5 seconds or something.
Exactly, yeah. Especially if he's like pathed the right way and there's no one in his way and he's not hitting any walls and he's like optimizing his route. Then, I mean, there's very little you can do about that. I mean, yesterday we did see some people like pick Anarchies of their own and sort of like get the Anarchy to chase Anarchy, because obviously you can keep up if you're the same character, or the same champion, I should say. But obviously if you don't have that champion in your lineup, then that's going to be quite difficult to pursue, I think, and stop him from where he's going.
Personally, I feel like Anarchy is just almost like core to a team on Sacrifice. He just seems so useful. You would almost expect to see him on every team because of just how good he is at what he's designed to do in that game mode. But sometimes when we see the teams that don't use Anarchy, they still do well. So clearly he's not, you know, the be-all, end-all champion of champions when it comes to Sacrifice as a game mode, but he is useful. He is super useful.
Indeed. So hopefully we won't be waiting much longer. We just try and get this lobby back up and running. Obviously we're now playing in lobby with 4 versus 4, and there's a lot of people to sort of sync back up with as we get this lobby back underway. And obviously when we go into it, I'm not sure if we'll just have like the first round will be played as if that was the final round, or if we're going to have them sort of go back and, you know, guarantee that round each. I can imagine that taking quite some time.
Well, that's been done on duels. So on duels before, where unfortunate disconnects have occurred, we've essentially remade the lobby, and the first round has been played, or the rounds at the start have been played as if they were final. So when the score count would reach the correct amount, the lobby would just cut.
So you would just play round 1 of the map out as if it was round 3.
Essentially, it's likely we'll be doing that again with Sacrifice, but we'll find out. As you know, yes. The God voice in my ear has confirmed that is exactly what we're doing. We're playing the first round.
Okay, wonderful. I mean, I guess it's a lot quicker then. I mean, it takes 2 minutes 30 seconds from 0 to 100%. So that's like minimum 5 minutes if you're just trying to do it the normal way. So it just saves on that time.
It's unnecessary. So either way, so far I do think that Aces look the strongest team of the two. We currently have the warm-up guys, so the warm-up's taking place in roughly 40 seconds. We'll have you guys in with some gameplay for what is going to be the final round of the first map, which is going to be Lockbox on Sacrifice, RushB versus Aces. Aces definitely, I think, the favourite team to win this, just through their raw talent pool alone of players they've got. However, it is currently 1-1 due to an unfortunate disconnect that occurred in round number 2.
But despite the disconnect, they were winning the third round until we replayed
3v4. It was like 30% when they were 3v4. That was really impressive.
The question is the fourth Is being 4v4 now going to make it the opposite? Are they going to struggle now?
It would be peculiar. It depends on what obelisk they get their hands on. But 3, 2, 1. We're good to jump in. And this is going to be the final round of map number 1. Now, obelisk A is definitely what these two teams will fight for. The question is going to be who gets the soul first. That's going to be a very pivotal moment, I think, in this match. Luminous and Memphis take out 2 frags. If they don't respawn in time, it's going to be very important for them.
Straight into the jaws of death. Spawn going to be up any minute. If Soul is here, looks like Zron's got it. So once again, Aces have it, and the Scalebearer saving his bull rush just to get this. And they have got the A obelisk as well. They have the one they wanted. Well, RushB did try and head him off. Unfortunately, they were a little bit too late. They were not going to stop Zron from dropping it off. And just like that, the percentage is starting to build. But with all of RushB trying to attack at the same time. Oh wow, that direct rocket through the rails. You can see him trying to shoot through that grate, and both teams really kind of struggling to land those shots clean through.
Right, so right here, 20% already built up. Memphis trying to take it from behind, getting completely sandwiched in, even though he does frag Latromi. Be wondering if he survives any longer. He has 4 HP, and that's going to be long enough to at least get a rail off, which might be pivotal if he can land it. But Claws with the cleanup, and then Sev getting drawn. They're somewhat attacking this base. Clutch going in, being the necessary distraction. Sev managing to bull rush through and take it. Unfortunately, gets fragged as well. Latromi looking to throw it back. And the defense right now from Aces has been impeccable.
Well, they're basically picking up where they left off. They've got that 30% and counting. Memphis able to get that kill with that super shotgun. Going to start getting the soul now. Can he get away safely? No, he tries to throw it through the wall. It's going to waste valuable seconds.
They have managed to deliver the soul downwards. That's not before 35% has already ticked down. Zron! Head first. Going in there, Gorilla looking trying to secure it himself, or at least be that necessary distraction. But Zron again managing to get access to the soul, does not have his bull rush, so he has to deliver it the old-fashioned way.
This does seem to be quite difficult for RushB to get hold of the soul and get it back to where they needed to go. They just don't have the speed of an Anarchy on their team, or even the Ranger. They do have a Nyx, but Nyx, very squishy. It's going to be hard to get it to her specifically.
I do believe I see Claws with the quad damage, which means that he's going to do such an amazing job of just defending this point. So much damage output, and again, he's just going to shred everyone as long as he is alive. With that quad, he gets taken out, but that's very close to another member of Aces who's just going to pick up where he left off. Sev does get access to the quad, but he hasn't got much of it left.
Adding up though, the Gauntlet quad, don't see too many of those every now and then, but right now 60% and climbing. Aces looking really strong. Oh, he gets the choo-choo. 2 of them back to back to defend. That's the dream as a Scalebearer defending the soul.
That's one of my favorite medals. Luminous gets taken out trying to deliver it again, but there's a big fight going down near the LG in the acid pool. However, right now that percentage is pretty significant. 68% already with Latromi ready to deliver it, going straight through face first. We're going to get another couple of frags, but there's a big assault coming in from RushB, but a bigger defense from Aces. Looking very hard for these guys to really do anything about this. 3 HP Anarchy. He's still alive. How is he still alive? He just injection! No! He denies the Gauntlet kill with the injection, and he meets him in the air with the super shotgun. However, trying to get the soul back. It's a bit manic near this rocket launcher location.
Latromi is just going to town right now. Memphis manages to get the soul though, so even though all of his teammates died in the process, they are finally starting to pick up some percentage, but Latromi's got a bone to pick. He's here trying to get it solo.
He's managed to throw it back even though he gets fragged. Actually passes it perfectly to Zron, who now has loads of space. Hits the rail, but it's not enough to kill Nyx. However, the missed rail is going to let him live by a fraction of a second. These rails literally coming out, but you can just see the health pool of Clutch. He just laughs while that happens.
Oh, he's going to go down, but his teammates are they here in time? No, they're trying to steal this soul away. They're all dying. Going to pass it over to Anarchy. This is difficult. So Anarchy, just keep it on how fast he's going to be able to do this. If he doesn't hit any interruptions on the way, oh my lord, look at that. Look at that.
So, protection is the power-up of this moment. Sev does manage to frag Latromi. However, you can see Aces just answering back. But hang on a minute. They went completely past him. That's going to give him some free space, delivering it back to B. I wonder if he's going to get fragged beforehand. He's dropped it off. A little bit of free percentage, but look at how many members of Aces are coming back. They have got the protection in hand with a Sorlag, no less, who's just going to absolutely just deal with all of the damage.
Oh, well, this is about, they've got the protection as well. So now the power-up's not going to be up for a significant amount of time, and Ace is about to drop this off. It looks like RushB are trying to always have someone here to try and stop them from dropping it off, but it hasn't happened in time now.
Misses the rail, but just look, so many members of each team here really trying to fight for this final obelisk. Aces have 20% and climbing left to take. Not much at all, to be honest. They managed to get a couple of frags. That might be what RushB needs. They have got the soul. Can they deliver it safely? Memphis has plenty of health left with that clutch shield as well, trying to really offer that necessary defense. Nice to be shot on claws.
Oh no, but Ron is just there to deny him. Oh my lord, and there's that follow-up.
That was a delicious combo, actually, landing the bull rush and that rail just to finish the job.
15% left to go. Not sure if RushB had what it takes to bring this one back.
That was an insane miss.
And running around with the gauntlets, I'm not quite sure what that's about.
He could have easily have run out of ammo, but unfortunately, 5% left. Gorilla is just trying to defend, but the gauntlet from behind obviously cannot shield behind himself, and that's going to be a GG. Aces take this first map over RushB.
So game 1 on Lockbox goes the side of Aces.
Now, you wonder why, not wonder why, sorry, the fact that Lockbox is the default match these guys are playing, which, seeing as it's actually the map that a lot of these teams have experienced the least, because it's a newer map, and they've been playing it recently.
We were told to expect that, but a lot of the teams were actually going out of their way to choose Lockbox after, because yesterday I believe it was Ruins of Sarnath was the one they had to play as the first map in the round of 16, and today obviously I believe it's going to be Lockbox for the most part. But they look really comfortable in it now. We were told that apparently a lot of teams didn't really get on with it well, and they didn't really have a lot of time prepped on it. But by the way they're playing it and the way they're holding it and drafting a lot of specific champions, like for example Solag, we see on Lockbox almost every time, on almost every team. I think the teams are more prepared than, I mean, they're as prepared as I think they definitely should have been. They're definitely ready for it. But next map, what do you expect we're going to be seeing?
It's really hard to call. Now Duel, sometimes you can almost look at the team of champions that players have selected and go, well, if they stick to this team, then we might see X map or Y map, and it's a bit easier to determine. When it comes to Sacrifice, when there's not only a team composition, but there's 4 individual players that as a group will have their own strengths and weaknesses and comforts and discomforts, it's very hard to call what map I kind of think the guys are going to play on. So Lockbox, normally, I think we would see a lot of people change to Lockbox on Thursday, but now, one thing to bear in mind actually about the map ruling in the World Championship is that when a map is selected, it cannot be selected again for the duration of that series, which means that that will be the first and last time we see Lockbox. There is no way we can see Lockbox again. So
at least in this series, at least, between Aces and
So
RushB.
if RushB were to select Blood Covenant, for example, and it goes down to a game 3, if RushB win, we will not see Blood Covenant or Lockbox again. That's just kind of generally how it's going to work out. So while we wait for these guys to decide, right now, Ace is looking incredibly comfortable. They looked like a really good unit together. And to be honest, I think it's going to be very hard to take these guys out. Part of me wants to call a 2-0 by just how well the individual players are playing on the side of Aces.
I think that was very dominant. To the point that I would be surprised to see it go to a game 3 if it continues that way. But part of me just thinks that maybe RushB just maybe shot themselves in the foot slightly with the champion composition, because I can kind of see where they were coming from. They didn't really have any bad champions on their team. Not that there really is any bad champions, but they did have some seemingly glaring issues with like just getting the soul safely back in transit, because a big part of Sacrifice is being able to run that soul. You're having someone that can just run that soul around relatively unscathed, and Anarchy seems to be the best choice for that, and even Nyx. But even then, RushB, they did have a Nyx, but 3 supremely slow champions in comparison to her.
Well, it's a matter of champions that can not only run the soul, but keep up with the champion that's running the soul. If you've got 3 champions that are, well, I would say closer to 2, because bear in mind, Clutch with that speed means he can keep up with basically anybody. But at the same time, having those regular champions that can just fly around the screen just like everybody else, the speed of which you can get it from point A to point B, very, very important. So personally, I'm expecting to see a little bit of maybe less beef on the side of RushB, but at the same time, teams have strategies. 3 tanky champions and 1 light, from what we saw on Thursday, is clearly their strategy, I think. Like, it's something they've done quite a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again, but at the same time, I really would like to see at least one of their big champions get swapped out for one that has a little bit more agility, because I just think it's really important in Sacrifice.
I mean, it just does seem to be Anarchy, though. Like, I mean, even based on teams we saw yesterday, Anarchy was probably the most popular champion we saw by far. It was him and Nyx, like, hands down. And a lot of teams would run them both just to have that guaranteed speed. Because, I mean, you just see despite who you are, you throw that soul to Anarchy and he's away. You know, even that map specifically, there's some ones like, for example, Burial Chamber. Getting Anarchy on Burial Chamber, have you seen how fast he can get around on that map specifically, from one obelisk to the other?
Are you referring to like the far side as well? Like on obelisk A, when you kind of look outwards and you've got that big open space on the right near where the rocket launcher spawns, he just goes whoosh and just zips around. Exactly. So perhaps maybe that will be it. Maybe Burial Chamber in a different team composition, or same team composition and maybe a map they feel more comfortable playing it on. Perhaps. I mean, we can only speculate until we see that the proof is in the pudding. When these guys manage to get into their next game and they've decided what map they want to pick, which, bear in mind, once again, the maps are 2 out of 3 within the maps, whereas we've just done Duel, which is constantly 3 out of 5. There is a distinct difference there, where you've only got 2 rounds to win. And bear in mind, if it's a dominant round, taking the obelisk is about 2.5 minutes, soul spawns in about 15 seconds. A round could technically be over in, like, 3 minutes? 3 minutes. A 3-minute round is just, like, shot by. Do you know what I mean? Then how many have we seen that have gone down to like the absolute wire and it's been like 6-7 minutes? Well, we had that unbelievable match yesterday, which was 99% versus 99% on Lockbox. By far the greatest match of Sacrifice I've seen so far. By far. So already an Anarchy on both teams now, and it is Burial Chamber. So I was somehow right in the prediction. I don't know how it happened, but I got the prediction right. Quite happy about that. Well, Burial Chamber in general, there is a lot of open space on this map. Once again, the obelisk, every map seems to have at least one obelisk that both teams really like to gravitate towards. I think that's a running theme. And on Burial Chamber, it's Obelisk A. That's sort of almost cathedral-like building. And it's not kind of like the catacombs on the other side, near where the Mega Health spawns. The sort of rail side, where you've got that giant room with a lot of big walls, that seems really good to defend, at least this early in the game, while people are still figuring out strategies. Well, we aren't really seeing teams favor different obelisks. They kind of both desperately want the same one and will settle with the other one if that's what they get lumped with. If need be. If you're close to it, then just do it. Like, however, that doesn't mean, though, you're quite capable of preferring one obelisk to the other, but you should definitely be prepared to play with both, because you just don't know who's going to get hold of the soul originally, right? There's no point putting all your eggs in one basket and practicing only defending obelisk A on every map, you know, just because that's your favorite one. You need to be able to defend on B regardless of the map, just in case you don't get it. And that really seems to be something that's separating some teams right now, is just preparation and how ready they are to defend both obelisks if they don't get the one that they want. Yeah, I think that's one of the things actually about Not So Fast, is that that team in particular, that sort of European Dream Team, that was a bit of a... Oh no. Oh no. Oh god, RIP! No. Stop the mayhem! Either way, we're about to go into this next match, and it's going to be Burial Chamber, potentially the final map in this series between Aces and RushB. So Visor popping that piercing sight straight away. So obviously it takes 15 seconds for that soul to spawn. When it does, the group fight in the middle of the map really can determine the pace of the rest of the match. Claws gets it first. Those 2 quick rocket jumps to rapidly fly past. And now Obelisk B actually immediately. Aces have wasted no time selecting it. Okay, so it looks like Several opted to go from Scale Bearer to the Visor. Already, I think Visor on this map is so useful because it's such a big map. The ability to see all 4 members of an enemy team and communicate that with the rest of your teammates is so crucial. And we saw that yesterday when the teams would play. Entire teams turning round on the Soul Carrier in complete unison because their Visor player clearly made the call. But once again, Aces defending Obelisk B, at the moment doing a good job of it. You can hear Visor's pop piercing sight. They don't know where they are now. Oh wow, Memphis tagged by that rail. Get a lot of hit though, Gorilla there. I believe he's gone to the Sorlag now, but Latrobe's going to take him down. Latrobe, that Anarchy that's been looking really strong with. Yep, they've definitely lost access to the clutch they had before. So losing that, they're going to lose that shield, but they're going to have the area denial and the utility of the piercing sight combined with the acid of Sorlag. It's still going to be a nice combination. As you see, Nyx going into ghost mode, actually scoring a telefrag. You don't see that every day with Nyx. Luminous on a really good spree, gets that telefrag, trying to rack up the kills as they take this soul, of which they have done it. But bear in mind, again, the power-up is spawning in 10 seconds. And there we go, Memphis has access to it on Anarchy, but he's going to get intercepted. That super shotgun being very powerful, especially on squishier champions like Anarchy. Power-up's going to be quad damage, and Claws getting access to it, but getting tagged by a rail. This is by far one of the riskiest power-ups to take. It is right in the middle and open of the map.
This is what I'm talking about, that speed. Look how fast he's getting in. Is he going to get stopped? He gets the injection. He keeps it alive. Really good use of the injection.
Yeah,
Latromi's there trying to stop him, but cannot do it.
He just threw it away to survive just long enough. Now, bear in mind, the important thing here is making sure as well that not only you have the quad damage, but the aces don't have it. Because if they had the quad, it would be so much easier for them to take that soul back. That was a disgusting shot, by the way. Unfortunately, Luminous misses the second one. The quad damage is going to be over, so it's going to be much harder for them to take the point. However, they can do it the old-fashioned way. As I've said that, though, Claws has stolen the soul, but Luminous with the interception.
This is good though, RushB managed to able to get it a little bit, but I think there's too many members of Aces here to stop them. Yeah, throwing it over to Anarchy. Latromi's going to get this as fast as he can. Question is, can he actually get there in time? He's going to drop it off. Okay, Luminous gets it. Oh no.
A lot of interception, actually.
Yeah, it's almost like basketball. They're passing into each other. They're grabbing it out of the air.
Managed to drop it off before the super shotgun connects, but look at how many members of Aces are there to try and sweep up. All four making that attack towards the other obelisk, and just Gorilla completely running past Latromi. I wonder if he even saw him. Not interested in heading them off either.
Oh, he even takes a detour on the way just to get that mega health. And that was good for RushB. They were able to get a nice chunk, 22%.
I actually wonder why there was nobody on the side of RushB on pursuit. There was no power up there. The mega health and heavy armor are both down as well. I wonder why they didn't chase. Memphis, nice catch on the rail from Latromi again.
Well, that is one tanky Zorlag.
Not anymore.
Not tanky enough.
Going in for the super shotgun. He's going to really sort of run that up-close path, catch people off guard, especially now they're pushing in. And Sev, not watching his back, eating that super shotgun. Power-up's going to spawn in 10 seconds again, but if they try and make that detour to get the power-up, they're just going to let the percentage of this obelisk tick down bit by bit. Memphis comes up from behind. Is it going to be enough to secure the soul, though?
He's trying to get hold of it, and it is Anarchy. But the power-up is here too, I believe. Yeah, it's protection. It is on the side of RushB. That's really good for them. If they can safely get this back to A.
Well, they have to pick up the soul first, and it's making it so much harder. But after that, Zron with the pickup. There we go, safely delivering it back. Oh! Wow, just knocking him straight into the air. Anarchy, even at this health, it's so crazy seeing an Anarchy at that low health, but seeing him be so lethal because the protection offers so much damage mitigation. Again, looking at the percentage, almost 90% on Obelisk B. In this team mode, Anarchy with that super shotgun just looks like a complete surgeon, lethal character. As you can see right now, RushB looking to make the assault.
Able to steal at the last minute though, 97%. I don't know if they can quite do it, but Luminous, they've given it to the right champion. Nyx is going to be able to get this out there. Oh no, he gets intercepted. Uh-oh. Completely met in the open as well. Getting met down there, that the frags are going to completely trade down Luminous once again with the soul in hand, taking a little bit of damage, but actually enough damage to just give her a bit of a damage boost, pushing her towards the general direction that she wanted to go. Eats a rocket, but yep, at this stage it's already been delivered. It just seems to be like, RushB, they're doing a good job of constantly like intercepting the soul, but they can't seem to hold on to it very well.
Latromi making that run all the way back with 3% left to go. All Latromi has to do is safely deliver it. Going in for the injection, giving himself the speed boost. The turn on the rail was enough. Didn't quite actually frag, even though it did connect. Did enough damage though just for Claws to survive. And now, I mean, 1%. That's it. Game over. One round is going to go to Aces.
Looking really strong too, though. One round by itself, match point already. These guys, one round away from qualifying for regionals for Sacrifice. So we've been saying that all day for Duel, but now it's about that 4v4. So these guys, as a team, could climb that hurdle straight away.
If they manage to make this, it means that Claws and Zron will both qualify for regionals for both Duel and Sacrifice. That would be a crazy achievement, especially in this first week. It would also be a testament to the skill of some of these players. However, RushB, we can't count them out just yet. They are still alive in this set. They just need to win 2 rounds in a row to even have a chance of tying this up. However, first 2 frags will go in favor of Aces, and now they have the soul and are looking, they want to take it all the way back. And this time they're holding off Obelisk A. I feel like Obelisk B may have just been out of necessity. I think they were just closer to it last time.
I mean, we did see them do that in the first map on a lockbox, actually. Did the same thing for Obelisk B in the round they lost.
They tried to intercept. Gorilla managed to score a frag on Claws.
Oh, but intercepted Latromi. That's the thing, even though Anarchy is amazing at running the soul, he is really good at chasing down thieves that have stolen it from your base.
I just think it's a really bold testament to just how useful Anarchy is in Sacrifice.
But 3 of RushB are here, though.
Trying to pass the Soul. Does manage to take out one, but there are still too many members of RushB ready to go. And there we go, Memphis with the Soul is going to make that run. No doubt, as you can see, Aces looking to really head them off. There are so many members of this team just lying in wait. One of them being Latromi, who just manages to snag that point-blank super shotgun, passing it back to Zron, who is now going to make that path all the way back to their own obelisk, trying to deliver it, but Seth with the interception once again.
Oh, this is violent. This is back and forth. Finally, though, seeing Aces, oh yeah, actually they have hold of the Soul again. They're trying to get it back, but Luminous, like a clay pigeon, shoots him out of the air.
These guys are doing a good job of really prioritizing their target. Latromi doing a good job of actually taking the heavy armor, just trying to survive for a little bit longer. There we go. Throughout that entire sequence, RushB were actually unable to deliver the Obelisk Soul at all.
Well, that's a really good skill, though, that Aces are showing off. It's not just the ability to hold onto the Soul, it's just how active you are when trying to get it back off them. Latromi, he's here now, but you know, as soon as he saw that RushB had the Soul before, he was right there ready to shoot him as he came up to drop it off.
Zron has the protection, which is going to be really dangerous for RushB. In this situation where you're so much percentage down, getting that power up is so crucial to staying alive in the tournament match, because without it, they have the ultimate advantage. They have the percentage advantage.
They've got the protection too now.
Exactly.
I didn't even notice.
Yep, Zron has it. Oh, nice catch. 50% already. Ace already halfway through this round. All they've got to do is hold off a bit longer. No wonder he's going to communicate this with the rest of the team. He's going to call both entrances he's getting surprised by, but it's not going to be enough. They've done so many frags already. I don't know if they can take the Soul yet.
Ghost Walker's already down though.
Oh, silence.
Yeah, I mean, look at this, just trading frags for frags all day, but at the same time, RushB, despite getting so many frags on the point, they aren't able to actually take the Soul. 65%. Oh, no, they're pending it. Instantly dying.
It's just been a testament, really, just how amazing Aces are at defending their own point, because they take the Soul back so dominantly, and at the same time, they bring it to their own base really aggressively as well. But when it's in their possession, they just prioritize their targets. And that's the important thing. Just make sure you're picking out those right targets, those squishy champions that will be making those runs. Just eliminate them before they even get a chance to take it. RushB, though, they get a bunch of frags. Can they get the Soul now? Next, going in for the rush offense. Here we go.
They're getting taken down. Finally, RushB able to make something work. But again, Aces are here and forced to try and stop them, and they just can't get the Soul out of this room. And 90% and counting.
The second you feel like RushB have a chance of taking the Soul, the entirety of Aces just come in and stop everything. And that's only going to be 3%, 2%. At this point, I think it's going to be a GG. They're going to try and go in as fast as possible, but it's not going to be enough. And Aces, again, managed to qualify for the regional for Sacrifice.
Really, really well played. They played as a complete unit. That's what you want to see. Week 1 of Sacrifice. This is the first week